Good day, class. Today, let us learn about organization social group processes, in particular, groups and teams. Groups are two or more people who interact with one another such that each person influences and is influenced by each other person. While teams are independent collection of at least two individuals who share a common goal and share accountability for team's outcomes. There are two kinds of groups: formal groups established by organizations and informal groups which are self-created by the members. Examples of informal groups are friendships and interest groups. Interest groups can be clubs, social groups, and sports groups. An example of formal groups are work groups. These are formal groups formed by the organization to do its work. There are two types of work groups: command groups. These are relatively permanent, formal group with functional reporting relationships and is usually included in the organizational chart. And affinity group, a collection of employees from the same level in the organization who meet on a regular basis to share information, capture emerging opportunities, and solve problems. Group performance is based on the composition of groups. Group composition is the degree of similarity or difference among group members on factors important to group's work. Group composition is based on homogeneity and heterogeneity. Homogeneity is the degree to which members are similar in one or several ways that are critical to the group's work, while heterogeneity is the degree which members differ in one or more ways that are critical to the group's work. Homogeneous groups are more productive when the task is simple, sequential, requires cooperation, or requires quick action. While heterogeneous groups are more productive when the task is complex, requires collective effort, demands creativity, and emphasizes thoroughness over speed. Group performance is also determined by group size or the number of people in a group. Group size affects resources available to perform the task. It also affects degree of formalization of interactions, communications, and participation. Group size can also increase the degree of social loafing or the tendency of some members of groups to put forth less effort than they would when working alone. Factors affecting group size are another group performance factor is group norm. Group norm is a standard against which the appropriateness of the behavior is judged and determined behavior expected in a certain situation. This results from personality characteristics of members, the situation, and the historical traditions of the group. Group norms help the group survive. It helps identify the group, identify its central value, and the expected behavior of its members. Group performance is also affected by group cohesiveness, or the extent to which a group is committed to staying together. This results from forces acting on the members, such as the members' attraction to the group, their resistance to leaving the group, and their motivation to remain a member of the group. Informal leaders may also arise among groups. An informal leader is a person who engages in leadership activities, but whose right to do so has not been formally recognized by the organization or group. Usually, the power of an informal leader is based on expertise. The informal leader can either be a tremendous asset when working in the firm's interest, and otherwise can be a cause of major disruption. The stages of group development. This diagram shows the stages of group development. Groups undergo these stages when a new group is formed and whenever there is a new member in the group or a new task has to be accomplished. The first stage is mutual acceptance, characterized by members sharing information about themselves and getting to know each other. The second stage is communication and decision making. Members discuss their feelings more openly and agree on group goals and individual roles in the group. The third stage is motivation and productivity. Members cooperate, help each other, and work toward accomplishing tasks. The final stage is control and organization. The group is mature. Members work together and are flexible, adaptive, and self-correcting. This slide is the description of the group development stages as presented earlier. This diagram shows the factors that increase and decrease group cohesiveness and the consequences of high and low cohesiveness. Factors that increase group cohesiveness can be homogeneous composition, maturity, small group size, and frequency of interaction. The result of high cohesiveness are goal accomplishment, personal satisfaction, and increased quality of interaction. The factors that decrease group cohesiveness are large group size, ambiguous goals, and heterogeneous composition. The consequence of low cohesiveness can be fewer interaction, lower commitment, and difficulty in achieving goals. The following are the types of teams. Functional teams. Members come from the same department or functional area. Cross-functional teams. Members come from different departments or functional areas. Problem-solving teams. Teams created to solve problems and make improvements. Self-directed teams. They set their own goals and pursue them in ways defined by the team. Venture teams. Teams that operate semi-autonomously to create and develop new products, processes, or businesses. Virtual teams. Teams of geographically organizationally dispersed co-workers who communicate using telecommunications and information technologies. Global teams. Face-to-face or virtual teams whose members are from different countries. You have come to the end of part 1 of our lesson. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day and God bless.